today we're going over lesson 10.2 on multiplying polynomials. Now there are quite a few ways to multiply polynomials, so we'll go through probably the two recommended methods I have for this class. So again, our goal is to multiply 2 by 3 and 3 by 3 polynomials, as well as 2 by 2. Okay. Now, multiplying polynomials is what? Right? Clearly, we're multiplying one polynomial times the other. And the key that I'm going to suggest we do today is using the box method. I will also show you FOIL. They both will receive the same answer. However, I've noticed that most people are a little more accurate with the box method, so that is why I lean on that method. So a reminder, basically what we're doing is we're doing 3x times 2x plus 7. This would be what I would consider a monomial times a binomial, and again from yesterday's lesson, 3x versus 2x plus 7, right? One piece outside, two pieces inside, to be a 1 times a 2, right? And it would distribute, right? 3x times 2x. And then also 3x times 7, right? We're distributing. Now, as a little note down here before we multiply, x times x is x squared. Why? Let's go back to those exponent rules, right? This is the same as x to the 1 times x to the 1. And when you're multiplying, you add. 1 plus 1 is 2. Another way to think about it is if we had 3x times 2x, we would get 6. And then how many x's do we have? X. Well, how many x's? That's 2. We would just write that as x squared, right? That's just a shorter way to write that. We have 2 x's that are multiplying each other. So back up here, 3x times 2x, if we did that, that's going to be 6x squared. And I'm going to show you even more work. It's 3x times 2x plus 3x times 7, and then you would simplify, right? And then simplifying is 3 times 2. The numbers multiply by each other, x times x, right? Basically, how many x's do we have? We have 2 of them, so that's x squared. 3 times 7, 21. And then the x kind of goes with, so we get 21x. So 6x squared plus 21x would be our answer. And we would call that technically our product, right? Answer to a multiplication. So next, now we're getting into situations such as this. We have x plus 2, 2 pieces, so this is considered a binomial times 3x plus 5, which is also a binomial. And how this works is there's 2 ways. We can do kind of a double distribution, right? Because normally when you have a parentheses, you're distributing, right? The x needs to go into both pieces. The 2 needs to go into both pieces. And that process is called FOIL, right? So what that's called is, we're going to bring it down and kind of show you a little bit more. But first, I'm going to write it out. The first part in each binomial multiply. So that would be x times 3x. And then we have our outers. FOIL is F-O-I-F. And we're going to kind of finish. There's a word for each of those letters. And that would be x is on the outside and plus 5 is on the outside. So x times 5, right? And then I for inners would be the 2 numbers on the inside, which is 2 and 3. 3x, by the way. 2 times 3x. I put it in parentheses because it's a whole thing. And then lasts, sounds like a funny word, but it's the last piece in both parentheses would be 2 times 5. Now our answer would not simply be that. We'll move our other method out of the way here. For a moment, we'll get to how that could work. We're going to get 3 times x times x, that's 3x squared. 5 times x, this is plus 5x. 2 times 3x, this is plus 6x. 2 times 5 is 10. And then we would combine like terms, like we did in the last lesson. Well, we've got power 2, 2 things with power 1. So these 2 are like terms we can add, and then power 0. So we would combine these. Typically, your outer and inner will combine in what we're going to cover. And so we do 5 plus 6, and we get 11x. Right? And then when you add the rest of them together, right, bring our sign in front. And we're going to have 3x squared plus 11x plus 10. That would be our answer or product for that, right? And that's it. Okay. Now, showing you the box method for the same problem, right? So here's how box method works. So this was one method. You wouldn't need to write FOIL out every time. So we'll kind of do this in another problem just to show you what expected work there is for this FOIL. But now I'm going to move on to box method. So how the box method works is, notice we have 4 pieces in our answer, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to place x plus 2 so that x, let's put it on top, x is going to multiply, basically making a multiplication table, right? X is going to multiply by items in these boxes, right? And then plus 2 is going to be term 2, right? It's technically 2 terms, binomials. Now, that is for the top, right? This is our top. Now, changing colors, the purple one, 3x plus 5, will be going this way. And we're going to do 3x is one term, plus 5 is the other term. And now we basically just created our own multiplication table. And now we're going to multiply. Now, you can do this in 2 ways. You can just know how to multiply 3x times x, 3x times 2, or you can simply multiply just the leading coefficients. Long, fancy term, but basically that means we're just going to multiply the numbers, and we'll come back for part 2 to multiply the variables. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2, right? So this 3 times this 2 is 6. Right? And then 1 times 5 is 5, and 2 times 5, right? Because 5 is going to go here, 2 is going to go here. 5 times 2 is 10. And now we need to go back and bring the x's, right? Because down here we had a bunch of x squared, x, right? And so how the x's go is they're just counting. How many x's would belong to this box here, this top left box? We've got 1, 2, so this will be x squared. How about, we're going left to right. How about this box over here? We've got 1, none up here, so that's 1x, x to the 1. We don't need to write the 1. Now going back down bottom left corner, we've got 1x up top still, none down here. This would also be an x. And then lastly, this last box, I've got no x's with the 5, no x's with the 2, so that one would have 0 x's. Okay, that one would have 0 x's. So we don't need to write that. And now we look to combine like terms, right? Just like down here, again, where we have 4 pieces, we've got the same 4 pieces. 3x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 10. And notice I don't always add my signs. I specifically add them when they're negative, but you can put a plus next to those numbers if they're positive. And now what we're doing is then combining the ones that have the same power. So I only have 1 of 3x squared, so we're just going to write that one out. Now, next one for standard form, 1x. I've got 6x and 5x. They're diagonal of each other. They both have x. So we would then add 6 plus 5 to get 11x, and we're going to write that in the answer, plus 11x. And then 10 is the only thing that's left, so we're just going to say plus 10. And you'll notice our answers matched, right? So we can use this box method for multiplying, or we can use FOIL. Okay, on the next one, I am going to ignore the box. We'll just use FOIL. So we're just going to get rid of the box for now, and we'll use FOIL. So we've got 2x minus 5 times 3x minus 6. I'm going to write it a little bit larger so we've got some more space to work with the box out of the way. Okay. Now, how I like to FOIL is, again, first, so 2x times 3x. I'm going to do the math. 2 times 3 is 6. X, we've got 2 x's, x squared. Outer, so now it's 2x times minus 6, right? 2 times 6, 12, and it's minus, so minus 12, and then 1x. And now that I did the first and outer, I usually like to either switch colors or just switch position. So now with this minus 5, notice the minus does come in. Minus 5 times 3, I get minus 15 and x. And look at where I placed that. Some would call this vertically, but now, just like in lesson 1, we have a column of x's that we can add together quickly once we're done. We're not quite done yet, but when we're done, we'll be able to add. Last part is minus 5 times minus 6. Double negative is plus 5 times 6 is 30. No x's. And now I'm ready to add. I got 6x squared minus 12 minus 15. If I owed $12 and I owed 15, I would owe 27. And x would be our just attached. And then plus 30. And there's my final answer. Okay. So FOIL can be quicker. Again, that first one took a little bit longer because I explained and wrote out each step. But again, this first number was the F, minus 12x was the outers, minus 15x was the inners, 30 was the last. So we still FOILed, but you don't necessarily need to use the FOIL every time you write it. If that does help you, feel free to do it. Next, we'll show the box method again, just to give you a kind of a good taste for both, and then you can kind of choose which one you're most comfortable with. So again, with box method, because I've got colors, I'm going to write 4x plus 2 on the top. So 4x goes over one set of box. That's where, like this is times 4x area. This plus 2 is going to be over its area, per se, column of multiplying, right? This column. Right, and then writing my next number, we've got 5x minus 1. That's going to go up and down. 5x is the first piece, minus 1 on the bottom. I like to keep it in that order so that my diagonals here will typically be like terms. So let's see if that works on this one. Now with this one, I'm going to go a little quicker, but we're going to do both the number and the variable at the same time. So 5 times 4 is 20, and then we've got 1, 2 x's. Then going to the next box, right? Just kind of going left to right, top bottom. 5 times 2 is 10, and then we have 1x here, so this is going to be 10x. It's a plus 10x, so I'm putting the plus in. Next column, since we're done with that row, sorry, we're going to the next row. Minus 1 times plus 4, right? That's what's being brought down there. So 4 times minus 1 is minus 4, and we have 1x. And then lastly, minus 1 times 2 is minus 2. And now, where's our match, right? This is only x squared right there. Sorry, changing color here. These are the only x's right here. And then minus 2 is by itself, right? So we've got two sets that are just ready to go. And we need to add 10x minus 4x, which is going to be 6x. And now, our answer is 20x squared plus 6x from that math we just did, minus 2. And that is how the box method works. On this next one, I'd recommend you follow along with me, doing whichever method you're comfortable with. I will show the box method. If you do the other FOIL, that is okay. So again, the setup's important so that you're in the right position and that we don't have numbers that are mixed, right? This is one number, this is one, sorry, binomial, this is one binomial, right? So 3 times 6, 18, and there's 1, 2 x's. 3 times 2, 6, and there's 1x coming with the 3x. Minus 7 times 6 is minus 42 with 1x. And then minus 7 times plus 2 is minus 14, no x's. Combining my diagonals with 6 minus 42, right? Minus 42 wins that pull by a long shot, so it's negative, and then we do 42 minus 6 is 36. So it'll be a minus 36, x comes with, and then the minus 14 was already set, and so was the 18x squared. Okay? So there's our answer there. Now we've got a set with 3 pieces. So how does it work when you have 3 pieces? Okay, now, right, I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? So we're going to need 2 boxes for the first number and 2 columns for the first number and 3 rows for the second number. So we can write this 2 different ways. For box method, you can do it this way, where we're going to have 3 rows, we call that, and 2 columns. Or you can switch a little bit from how I've been doing it. And you can go the long way. Either way, you're going to get the same answer, by the way, so it's not changing your answer. It just changes where you're putting the x plus 2, for example, first number. So on this left diagram, I put x plus 2 here, because it is a spot that has 2 numbers, 2 terms. If it was the right one, I would put x plus 2 here. You cannot put x plus 2 here, because what are you going to do with this bottom blank? You don't have a third spot. It must go where the 2 matches it, right? So we've got 2, and needs to match the dimension. So it's either the row or the column that has 2 spaces. And typically you're making your own box. So you get to then just make sure that 2 times 3 is 6. You should have 6 boxes such that you have 2 rows, 3 columns, or vice versa. So we got x plus 2 times 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. Okay, right? So I'm going to use the right side for this time. It doesn't mean the left side answer would have been wrong, but just to show you that we got quite a bigger box, right? And you're doing the same process. Process changes 0. It's just a setup that changed. X times 3x squared. Well, 1 times 3 is 3. We've got 1, 2, 3 x's. So now we have a higher power. X times minus 2x. 1 times minus 2 is minus 2. And we've got 1, 2 x's. And then 7 times x is just plus 7x. Right? Well, basically, we increase this whole row by 1x. That's what happens when you multiply by x. Next row, we're multiplying by 2. So 2 times 3, 6. And the x squared comes with 2 times minus 2, minus 4, and the x comes with. And 2 times 7, plus 14. And now, look for your matches for a moment here. Because we have 6 boxes, we're going to have more than one pair of matches, and we've got these diagonals again. Those have x squareds, and then a little different color, these have just x's, kind of in a peanut shape. And so, the ones that only have one of those are just going to come down, 3x cubed. And then doing the simplifying, what's 6 minus 2 for the x squared? 6 minus 2 is plus 4. X squared. And then next we've got 7x minus 4x. 7 minus 4 is 3. And the x just comes with, and then plus 14. So not much more complicated, a little more boxes, a little more work, but the answer is not that much different. You still can end up with large answers no matter which way you use. Okay? Next, one more set of a 2 by 3 here. Right? Now I'm going to do it the FOIL way. Right, so how does FOIL work? So I'm just going to, again, rewrite it out to make it a little bit larger. Okay. Now, how I prefer to do the FOIL method is 4x times 8x, right? We're going to get 32. We've got 1, 2, 3 x's, and you're just going to continue, right? Now, so this won't be called FOIL anymore because FOIL has 4 letters, and we actually have 6, right? From the last problem, we're going to call it FOILer. No, we don't have really a word for those middle terms. So what you're going to do is just make sure that 4x goes to all 3 pieces, and the minus 9 goes to all 3 pieces. All right, it's kind of a triple distribution. But we're just going to do one at a time. So right now we just did 4 times the 8. Next, we're doing 4x times the plus x. Well, 4 times 1 is 4, and I've got 1, 2 x's. And then 4x times minus 5 is 4 times minus 5 is minus 20. The x comes 1. Now this is where it changes just a tiny bit. Right? Last time we matched right under our last number, but now look, we got minus 9 times 8, and minus 72, we have 2 x's. So this is actually going to overlap right here. We're going to have minus 72 x squared, and that is where our column is going to be. So this bottom one is only going to be off by 1. It's going to be shifted over 1 to the right. Negative 9 times plus x would be just minus 9x, goes right underneath our other x. And then last one, minus 9 times minus 5 plus 45. That's in its own column, and then you're just adding 3 to 2x cubed, 4 minus 72, minus 72 is bigger, and then minus 20 minus 9, minus 29x plus 45. Okay. So either way it works. I usually will highly recommend the box method just for accuracy's sake. Sorry, one last one, and then we'll be done. So now I'm going to do the 2x plus 5. We're going to go the other way this time. I'm not trying to confuse you, but just showing you how it would look like if your box was set up this way, right? 2x plus 5 will go on top, so there's 2 spots. The 3x squared minus 8x plus 1 will go on the side. And again, you would still get, these would be equal if you did your box the other way. You would still get the same answer. So just pick which way you're comfortable with and do it that way. Look what we got next. Minus 8x plus 1. Right? Either of those work. Choose what you're comfortable with. I'm going to fill in the one on the left this time. And again, our diagonals are still going to add. It's going to be just like this, though. Whereas over here, it was these positions, diagonals that add. So 3 times 2, 6x cubed. 3 times 5, 15. X squared follows along. Minus 8 times 2, minus 16x squared. Minus 8 times 5, minus 40x. 1 times 2x is 2x, and 1 times 5 is 5. And you'll notice my arrows were correct. The things that are like terms are diagonal, right? 15x squared minus 16x squared, minus 40x plus 2x, right? And then you're going to add those. So 15 minus 16, that's minus 1, minus x squared. 6x cubed, our first term, is top box. Sometimes I like to do a check mark to make sure I've done one box. There's 2 as a kind of double check you don't forget something. Minus 40 plus 2. They're both x's. We're going to get minus 38x. And lastly, plus 5. Thanks for tuning into the lesson. Make sure you do the homework assigned on Classroom.